Hi everyone, this is Lindsay with Imaginary Rebel Art Studio. Welcome to the new Brands of Color web series. This is going to be a series of hopefully short videos about all the brands of colors that I have and have found over the years that I like and that I maybe don't like. And these are kind of my reviews. And so today's color is gold. Gold is today's color. So I have a variety of different golds that I have tried and either liked or didn't like. And so, I have a love-hate relationship with gold. I hate gold jewelry, but love gold in art. And so some of it's just really amazing. But you have to remember with gold is it's very transparent, translucent. And so you really have to kind of put a lot on depending on what you're doing. There's also something called gold leaf, which is going to be in a different video because that's like a totally different process. But this is just about brands that I have, different brands of gold. I'm going to have it on this black paper. It's going to go into my creative binder, and I will have it as a reference for when I want to use gold, and I'll be like, oh, this is the one I like, or no, I want to use this one. This is just for your educational purposes. You do not have to do this. You do not have to buy these brands. I do recommend that you try a couple of brands to see what you like so that you can use them in your artwork, but I absolutely do not want you to buy all of these brands. This is just something that I have collected over the years that I just want to share with you, basically. So I have a couple different ones. So this is an ink gold, acrylic gold. So everything's acrylic based. This is by Amsterdam. I have this Master Touch Fine Art Studio thick body acrylic by it's like Hobby Lobby's brand, and this is the iridescent rich gold. I have a stencil butter, which I talk about in a different video of how to use that, but it's a very creamy butter feeling consistency. So this is called Champagne Gold Stencil Butter by TCW, which is the Crafters Workshop. Very cool company. This is a really cool one. I like this one a lot. This is by Modern Masters, metallic paint collection. It's the satin finish, but it's the gold, the Pharaoh's gold. And this one is semi-opaque, so it's slightly a little bit less transparent than some of the other ones, but I just really like this one. I also got this at Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure you can get it other places, but I really do like this one a lot. This is Glorious Gold by Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. This is a very transparent one, but very pretty, depending on what kind of painting or your craft you're doing. But it's on the more affordable side, but pretty still. Any metallic is pretty, I think. And then I also have two more Deco Art. So this is Deco Art Extreme Sheen 24 karat gold. This one is probably the most popular out of everyone. I have several of these. The Extreme Sheen brand has like a whole bunch of different colors, and they are the best. I actually like this one better than the Glorious Gold. It just, again, depends on what you're doing with it, but I like this one a lot. Like this one I have on my shelves plenty of. And then I have this one as well. This is the new brand by Deco Art called Love Color. This is called Gold Gleam. This is basically, it says Eye Candy Metallics. So basically this is for the fake cake decorating, basically creating your frosting, which is made out of acrylic paste and acrylic paint. And that's what you would use this for. And so I haven't used it yet. I guess I have because I've opened it, but I don't remember, so I'm gonna try it again. I also have Mondo Llama. That is Target's craft paint brand of acrylic paint. It's called Gold Rush, and it's very translucent, but it's, I really like this brand actually. Some of their other colors are really good and opaque and really amazing. So I was gonna try this one. And then I have, this one is also from DecoArt. As you can tell, I love DecoArt and all their kinds of brands. This is an elegant finish, so it's an all-purpose metallic acrylic. And so this is kind of like for when you're finishing like home accessories or home decor, things like that. However, it's called Emperor's Gold. It's my favorite so far because of how thick it is and how opaque. It's very opaque, so it's not translucent or transparent where you can see through it. So it's been one of my favorites so far that I've come across recently. And then last but not least, I think, is Lukas, the Lukas brand, the Krela Studio. So this is the German brand. It's the gold color. It's out of a, like a spout like this where you pour it, but I'm not sure about this gold. It's very, like a tinny kind of gold. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not the same as some of the other ones. So I wasn't a big fan of this one, and I was really disappointed because it was very expensive. And because of all of the stupid tariffs, it's even more expensive now. So, but I really like this brand with other things. And so I just wanted to try it out and show you guys. So those are all the brands I'm going to use today. I know that's kind of a lot, so we're just going to get started. I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to show you two projects that I'm currently working on that I've done this gold on, and you can see like what it looks like on something that's been painted. But first, let's just try them out. So I'm just going to use a flat brush. This is a small flat brush that I'm going to use. And so I'm just going to, I also have my apron on, of course, and I have a wax palette. I'm just going to use it on the side. I have some water. And yeah, so we're going to start with, let's start with the craft paint first. I'm going to get the Glorious Gold by DecoArt. And make sure you really shake up the DecoArt brands or the craft paints in general, because they're very liquidy and they have kind of a, like an oil, not an oil, but like a material inside of it. And sometimes it gets very gloopy and just kind of gross. So just keep that in mind. Oh no, about DecoArt. So I'm just going to kind of do like a little like swatch basically. And so this one, we'll start over here. Let me see what you guys can see. It's kind of hard. I'm trying to work this out with his mountains. Kind of different. So I'm going to go over here. Let's see. Okay. This is the Glorious Gold. So it is on the more opaque side. And so what am I meaning by opaque? Opaque means that I cannot see the background. So if I cannot see the black, then it's very opaque. And those are the ones that I like because they're high saturation. They're very vibrant. If I could see the black through it, that means it's very translucent or transparent, and that would be more of like a glazing paint, which I talk about in a different video, so make sure you kind of look for that. But here is the Glorious Gold. So very opaque, and that's why I like it out of some of the other ones. So I definitely like the Dazzling Metallics Glorious Gold. So there's that one. I am going to rinse out my brush because I want to make sure that I get each gold its own little swatch area. So let's compare that now with the Extreme Sheen 24 karat gold, which is another one that I really like and use a lot. And so I'm just going to put that down, and they're honestly very similar, except that the 24 karat gold one is a little bit more on the translucent side, and it's a little bit brighter, but it has like more basically sheen in it. Actually, it's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. It's not as translucent as I thought it would be. It depends on how much you're putting on. So as you can kind of see, this is like a more of a duller gold, and this one is a more vibrant gold, and that's the 24 karat gold. So that was the one. But if you kind of tilt it this way, you can see that it's more transparent than this one because you can see the black background. But still a lot brighter, a lot more like dazzling because of all the little glitters in there. So that is those two. And then we're gonna do DecoArt's Love Color brand for the, I can't think of it right now. The fake cake decorating kind of thing. This one is a lot darker and a lot more transparent. You can see that on there, how much more transparent that is because you can see the black background. You can see that. So that one, again, is like a lot darker of a color, even more darker than this one, but a lot more transparent. So you kind of just, again, have to experiment with what you like and what you don't like with the different brands. The other craft one I'm gonna do is the Mondo Llama, the Gold Rush. And I like their bottles. They're still 2 ounces, but they're smaller, but because they're wider. So I do like that. And again, that is Target's craft brand. So far we've been doing DecoArt, and this is going to be Target's brand, which is a lot more opaque, as you can see, than this one. But still kind of transparent when you go like this. But going like this, this one still, it looks kind of similar to this one. This is the Glorious Gold, and this is the Mondo Llama, so very close. I really like Mondo Llama. I wasn't sure about it at first, to say, but I do like it. All right, I think that's all of the craft paint brands. So these are the thinner ones. Now we're gonna go to thicker paint. So the next one we're gonna do is, let's do the ink. The ink is very thin as well. And you can do various things with this, but I just wanted to try it because it was gold. So this is by Amsterdam. This is also a foreign brand, I think German as well, and can be expensive, but you can get it. Like Lucas brand, you can only get on Amazon or like on different sites. This you can get at Michael's, so it just kind of depends on their availability. And as you can see, I dropped it. Then it cracked at the top. So it comes with a little dauber because it's ink. And so I'm just gonna put a little bit on here instead of pouring it out. And it doesn't really shut because the top is off. Because I dropped it and I thought, oh no, it's gonna break. And it's actually made with really good glass. It didn't break, but the top broke. But anyway, so this is gonna be the ink from Amsterdam. And it's very solid. It's a very good opaque color of gold. If you can kind of see, out of all of them, it's the most opaque. And it's actually more liquidy than these are. Oops. No. So pretty neat. But that's because it's very saturated with pigment. And that's why that's so dark. And that's why I like it. I've been trying to find paints that are more, you know, vibrant and have just solely pigment instead of a bunch of other chemicals in it that break it down. But this is really pretty. And it's really shiny. So the key is when this dries, is to come back and see how they dry. So this is when they're wet. When they're dry, they dry a little bit darker and a little bit more see-through. So we'll see which ones hold up. Okay, next one we're gonna do is, let's do this one. This is the Modern Masters one. And I'm just gonna maybe take the top off. Oh wow, it's like, shut. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm just gonna take it right out. So this is what I'm gonna show you. So you see that inside? It's beautiful colors. It's a beautiful, very liquidy still though. This is the Ferrell's Gold. They have different colors. but it's on the thicker side. You see how it stays on my paintbrush and doesn't come off? And so that is thicker. We're going into thicker paint, so I'm gonna do it over here. So this is the Modern Masters Pharaoh's Gold. But it's kind of similar in the color as the Glorious Gold and a little bit more sheer. So there's that one. But I do like that one a lot. I do use that one. And also, so this one, I don't remember how much it was because I took the price kit up, but it was probably like $7. And I've used it actually a lot, and only this much has been used. So this will last you forever if you are using gold. So there's that one. The next one we're gonna use is this Deco Art Elegant Finish. So we're gonna use this one. And man, the lids are tight on these guys. So that is what that looks like inside. Again, it's very similar to that previous one, but this one is a little bit more, I think more, not orange, but just darker than the other ones. I'm just gonna rinse off that brush. Get as much water out as possible. And I'm just gonna put it here. So again, you see how it's thick, it doesn't fall off my brush. It's a very good one. And so I'm just gonna do it down here. But it is more, I think, not orange, but like just a darker gold. If you can kind of tell the difference between all of these and this one, it's just a little bit darker. These are more shinier, a little bit more yellow, and this one's more of a darker kind of gold, but very pretty. And I have something that I did with that, and I have two things that I did with that is really pretty. So I'm just gonna put that back on there. There we go. Rinsing out my brush. Okay, just a couple more. So the next one I'm gonna do is Lukas. This is the German brand. Maybe it's Dutch. Anyway, it's a really good brand, really solid colors, fully pigmented, not a lot of chemicals in it, but it's just a little bit more, I don't know how to explain that, like oriental, which is not a good word, I'm sorry. I don't know, I'll show you. But I do like the pour, I just ripped off the top by accident, so I'm not able to close it, but there's like a lid. It's actually pretty neat. So this one by far is the thickest that we've done so far. So as you can see, it's very thick. This is what's considered heavy bodied acrylic. Very thick paint. We're just gonna go down over it like this. And so this will be a lot more opaque because it's very pigmented. Not a lot of chemicals. Just trying to get some of this off of here. And I'm gonna use all of these in a different project, so I'm not wasting paint here. But I really just wanted to show you the differences. So there is the Lukas brand right there. So a little bit more thicker, kind of like close to like Impasto. Pasto, I always say impasta. Pasta? No, impasto. So very much thicker. And then we have two left. So again, I'm trying to keep these really, these videos, hopefully 15 minutes and less, we'll see. The next one is this, well, let's do the stencil butter maybe. This is stencil butter. So what that is just basically a very creamy acrylic paint. This one is Champagne Gold, and I have a different video that shows exactly how to use this. And as you can see, I've used quite a bit of it. But I can show you that too in a second. So I'm gonna just kind of pull it out. So it's very thick, almost kind of like a butter consistency, to be honest. It's very thick like that. And I'm just gonna put this down here. And it's a little bit more on that other, like the Glorious Gold side, color-wise, but very opaque, which is why I like it as well. You can't really see too much of it through it. And I'll show you a project that I'm currently working on. It was supposed to be during Christmas, but still working on it. And it's like March. So the last one is this Iridescent Rich Gold by Master's Touch, which is Hobby Lobby's brand. So it's basically like a thick bodied gold. If you can see it like that, it's very thick. But it's also on the more transparent side. So it's just, again, it all depends on what you're using it for, what you like the best, what tint you like. If you like the more, this is more kind of closer to this one, which was the Masters, Modern Masters one. But this one's very thick as well. I thought it was more transparent, but it's not. Because look how thick it is. Like out of all of them, that's the thickest one where you don't see the background. But again, this is when they're wet. We'll come back when it's dry and see how they dry and see which ones are the best ones that still have a lot of pigment and are still really good ones. But stay tuned for the projects I'm using with some of these golds. Right, so I'm gonna show you 3 projects that I did gold with. This one is the stencil butter. I did a stencil. Basically, it's just like a relief. It's just slightly above. It's not like, it's a little bit more 3D, but that's what it looks like. That's what this one was. And so again, in another video, I show you how to do that, but this is just a big sign that I'm gonna put something on top of. Other type of media, so it's like a mixed media art, but it's gonna be a sign that you hang. So that was that. This one is the one for Christmas. So stay tuned for Christmas on that one. So there is the stencil butter. And then the other 2 here, this is the Emperor's Gold for these 2 projects here. So that's this one, the thick one. So I did this deer head with that gold because I'm gonna paint on top of it, but it's so pretty. I almost don't want to because it's such a pretty gold and how it dried. Very thick. There was, this was painted brown before, like a dark brown, and you can't even tell. It's just so beautiful. Just so pretty. So I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it now because it's just a really pretty gold. I love it. It's very thick, very nice. And then I made this as well. This is a texture paste that I made this on a piece of wood. And so this was made out of wall putty, a little bit of gesso and varnish. And that's what made this kind of texture. And then I used one of my scrapers to make this kind of texture. And then I painted it gold and I painted this black. And I'm not sure if I like this black, but anyway, what I was gonna do in a separate video is do this with gold leaf to see the difference. And so, but I kind of like it the way it is, so I'm not sure yet. But that is how those golds look when they dry. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. But that wraps up our Brands of Color gold version. Stay tuned for all the other colors. Bye. All right, guys. So this has now dried, and I labeled what they were before I forgot. And they all dried really well, honestly. They're very shiny, very pretty. So yeah, so you just kind of have to go through and see which one is your favorite and which ones you know want to use and not want to use. But they're all dry now. So there's Glorious Gold, and then there's the other ones, the thicker ones. And that wraps up Imaginary Rebels Brand of Color gold version.